This is the book of Psalms, 64, verse 8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Let's read that again. It says, so they shall make their tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Rakakadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to you brothers through the four corners of the earth, preaching his word and also laboring in his word in true love and sincerity. Shalom to the hopeful elect. And doing this lesson based off of the heart attack gun. Okay? And as you can see on the screen, it says, yes, there is a CIA heart attack gun. A 1975 congressional hearing confirmed it. And basically, why I read the book of Psalm 64th chapter, the 8th verse, because Esau, Edom, who is the so-called white man according to the Bible, their tongue is falling upon themselves. Okay? And this is from 1975. So it's happening at a more rapidly rate, even more now. Okay? That's why you got all these different, in one of my lessons I said, these different historians and scholars and scientists, okay, doctors, ex-military and Marines, okay, ex-government officials, people in those sort of categories, exposing their own people for the wicked things that they have been doing and hiding from the people. Okay, and another name that they will be called will be whistleblowers. All right, because they are exposing, the government, but rather the elite for the things that they have been doing. Okay, their hidden agendas. Okay, and this is what you see here, what this lady is about to speak about. Okay, so let's read this article before I play this clip. It says, in 1975, a congressional hearing revealed the CIA had numerous top-secret weapons, including a gun that became known as the CIA heart attack gun. In 1975, Congress investigated the CIA out of the concern that former President Nixon may have used the CIA in an abuse of his powers. Nixon had resigned from office the previous year on August 9, 1974, fearing impeachment amidst the Watergate scandal. One revelation from the congressional hearings was that the CIA had a secret assassination weapon, otherwise known as the heart attack gun. According to a video interview with Mary Embry, a former CIA employee, she was asked to help develop an ice gun. The CIA asked her to help find a poison which, when administered, would mimic a heart attack in a person but remain undetectable. You see? So what? She's a former CIA employee, man. Okay, she had to carry out tasks for the CIA. But it came down to later when what? She started to expose them for their agenda, for their plots that they had, or almost their weapon in this form or fashion, which I'm speaking on is the heart attack gun. All right. It says, she said the heart attack gun reportedly could pierce through clothing, leaving no signs of impact on the skin except a small red dot. The targeted person would feel nothing beyond a slight sting comparable to a mosquito bite. In the 1998 video interview, Embry said the poison was frozen into some sort of dart, and then it was shot at a very high speed into the person. When it reached a person, it would melt inside them, and there would be a tiny red dot on their body, which was hard to detect. There wouldn't be a needle or anything like that left in a person because it was made to be undetectable. Says the weapon, a modified Colt 1911, was mentioned during the infamous Church Committee probe in 1975 officially known as the United States Senate Select Committee to Study Governmental Operations with respect to intelligence activities. The investigation lasted 9 months. Footage from the probe in 1975 has gone viral in recent years after being shared by historians and conspiracy theorists. CIA heart attack gun leaves no trace. The video footage doesn't refer specifically to a poison ice bullet, but does discuss how the gun being held in the video was developed to fire a dart like the one Embry described. In a video from 1975 hearing, Senator Frank Church asked CIA Director William Colby, "Does the pistol fire the dart?" Colby said, "Yes, it does, Mr. Chairman, and a special one was developed which potentially would be able to enter the target without perception." Colby also revealed the toxin would not appear in an autopsy, so there would be no way of perceiving that the target was hit. Origins of the CIA heart attack gun. Additionally, Colby disclosed a bit more history of what might have led to the creation of this gun. He stated that in 1952, the CIA began a super secret research program codenamed MK Naomi, partly to find countermeasures to chemical and biological weapons that might be used by the Russians, KGB. CIA researchers came up with an array of James Bond-like weaponry that could use shellfish toxin and other poisons as ammunition. A 1975 New York Times article details Colby's testimony before the congressional hearing, where he reveals the extent of the secret CIA weapons program. Okay, and there's another thing. There's another. I forget how to say it, but where there's a business called DARPA, and you can look at a lot of crazy inventions that Esau have created. All right, and just like they said, James Bond, a lot of them weapons that you seen on the movie James Bond and Mission Impossible, and they got all them weapons, man. Them are old weapons. Okay, anything that you see in these new movies that they release, all right, they be showing you all these different high-tech weapons and vehicles to do all this crazy stuff or robotic things. All that's old, man. That's old inventions that they're just now releasing to the public. All right. Even like different video games, like not only movies but different video games like Call of Duty and Battlefield, more like shooter games. All those different weapons that they show on there, okay, they have all them, man. Okay, Esau knows how to play with the different elements, and knows how to, just use different forms of manipulations of different things, with his science involved to make these different creation of chemical warfare weapons. Okay, but you got to remember, hey, Esau's weapon was his blessing was the weapon. His blessing was the sword, man. Okay, he was blessed with the sword, and that's how he is able to do all these different things. Okay, that's how he's able to, run over and take over different countries by what? Using his blessing. Okay, and when Esau got his blessing, hey, he used his blessing to the full extent, man. Okay, to the full extent. So let's go down here a little bit. It says the Times reported that the Naomi project were operated in such secrecy, Mr. Colby said, that he learned of it only earlier this year when a former agency employee brought it to his attention that 2 poisons had been kept in defiance of a presidential order. Colby ordered an investigation into the poisons, which found a seldom used CIA room that the Times reported contained 19 other lethal substances in addition to the shellfish toxin and cobra venom. These included poisons such as strychnine and cyanide pills, as well as a material that causes abortions in animals. There was also a wide range of incapacitating materials, including those that lower blood pressure, cause temporary amnesia, and impair kidney function. And Charles Cincinnati, an engineer for the Defense Department, revealed that proved that he had devised dart launchers that were disguised as walking canes and umbrellas. You see, so they got that James Bond and that Mission Impossible type gear. Okay, let's see. All right, so that's the point on that. Okay, so now let's get to the woman's tongue is about to fall upon herself. So let's get that. We're gonna read this again one more time. All right, Psalm 64 verse 8, it says, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. So not only are we exposing these devils on a high basis, right? Exposing them for all the wickedness that they have been doing all throughout the earth, right? But their own people are exposing them, okay? Their own people. All right, so let's click the video and hear from the horse's own mouth.
Also, I had to find one time they wanted me to find out if there was such a thing as a poison that was undetectable, especially one that seemed to mimic a heart attack, that would kill someone, but it would appear that they had a heart attack. I did find such a thing.
Does this pistol fire the dart? Yes, it does, Mr. Chairman, and a special one was developed which potentially would be able to enter the target without perception.
The poison was frozen into some sort of dart, and then it was shot at very high speed into the person. So when it reached the person, it would melt inside them, and the only thing would be like one little tiny red dot on their body, which was hard to detect. There wouldn't be a needle left or anything like that in the person.
But also the toxin itself would not appear in the autopsy?
Yes, so that there was no way of perceiving that the target was.
For many years, I didn't even tell my friends I worked for the CIA because I was embarrassed. It's colored my life. It always will. It's like a shadow that falls over my life all the time. I still, if I say anything against them, I turn around wondering if I'm being followed. I never even thought of joining the CIA. First of all, I thought I probably couldn't get in because it was considered the Cadillac of government agencies. And they mostly hired from Ivy League colleges. And I was just out of high school and went to work for the Veterans Administration. And actually, it was a typewriter repairman came in to repair my typewriter one day. And he said, you know, you shouldn't be working here. You should be working at a nicer place. They test you a lot. Huge testing. I mean, when you put into this personnel pool, there are probably 2 or 3 weeks of tests where it's all day long, every single day. And your IQ tests, your personality tests. Questions that bothered me the most was when I took the polygraph test. And the polygraph test, they ask you such incredibly personal questions. For instance, they asked me if I was a virgin. And I was 18. And I thought, what business does it matter whether I am or not? And I was rather embarrassed to tell them that I was. Because I don't think any of my girlfriends were. I was raised very strict. There were very few women at CIA who were other than secretaries. It was very it was establishment, white male establishment. I asked a couple of times why it was that there were no blacks there and why there were no gay people there. Although they didn't call them gays in that time. In those days, I think they called them queers in those days. And they said because homosexuals could not be cleared because they could be blackmailed. And they said that blacks couldn't be cleared because the blacks just weren't, they were just still too primitive. They just weren't usually smart enough. And they didn't have the kind of background that white people had. I mean, I didn't think that much at the time because it was like sort of standard operating procedure. But when I think about it now, I'm really quite shocked how you probably would never get a job if you're black. I was assigned as a secretary, audio surveillance division. operatives get the documents that they needed. Once in a while, I'd have to make a quick trip to the State Department to pick up their passports. And sometimes, if we couldn't get the passports in time, then I'd have to go over to Graphic Arts Reproduction Division so that they could forge one for them. Most of them were artists in there, but they were recruited from prisons because they were forgers, and they were master forgers. They were people who knew how to forge money, and they forged all kinds of things. That's how they made their living. And so the FBI would arrest them, and then CIA would come and spring them.
Yep, and that's how your government works. That's part of how they work. Okay, like she just revealed and exposed how the CIA works, man. Okay, if the CIA, if they can use someone that's beneficial for their use, that's what they're going to do. So that's why she said, hey, master forgers that they arrested, right? They ended up releasing them and brought them into their fold, man, and had them work for them. Okay, and this be on all levels, all right? All levels. They use people for this. Okay? Hey, but that's how this devil rolls. When we tell you that he plays both sides of the coin, that's what he does. He plays both sides, man. Okay? Even when dealing with even when dealing with the what is it, the Republicans and the Democrats. Y'all don't understand that Esau plays both parties in that, man. Okay? He plays both sides. In all things. That's just, hey, that's the devil for you. That's all I can say. All right, so let's continue on. I think there's a little bit more on here.
Then I went to technical services where I was in charge of finding documents that you don't find in libraries, like where you put explosives on a bridge. Where's the best place to put an explosive on a bridge, and what kind of explosive do you have to get that goes underwater without destroying its effectiveness. Also, I had to find one time they wanted me to find out if there was such a thing as a poison that was undetectable, especially one that seemed to mimic a heart attack that would kill someone, but it would appear that they had a heart attack. I did find such a thing.
Does this pistol fire the dark? Yes, it does, Mr. Chairman. And a special one was developed which potentially would be able to enter the target without perception.
The poison was frozen into some sort of dart, and then it was shot at very high speed into the person. So when it reached the person, it would melt inside them, and the only thing would be like one little tiny red dot on their body, which was hard to detect. There wouldn't be a needle left or anything like that in the person.
Have you brought with you some of those devices which would have enabled the CIA to use this poison for?
We have indeed for killing people. The brown thing at the top is obviously the sight. It works by electricity. There's a battery and a handle, and it fires a small dart.
And the dart itself, when it strikes the target, does the target know that he's been hit and about to die?
A special one was developed which potentially would be able to enter the target without perception.
As a murder instrument, that's about as efficient as you can get.
It is a weapon, a very serious weapon.
But also the toxin itself would not appear in the autopsy.
Yes. So that there was no way of perceiving that the target was him.
I think the first time that I seriously questioned anything, it was more than, I just couldn't take it anymore, was when I came across his document. It was eyes only to my boss, but he only had one hand and a hook in the other hand, so I always opened all of his mail, his packages and so forth. And this one, he wasn't in the office. I opened it and I read it. It said eyes only. I wanted to read it because I wasn't supposed to, probably. And it was a report about a mission where they had blown up a bridge in Asia somewhere, and they had killed a number of women and children who were on their way to market that morning. It was reported as though they were really proud of mission accomplished. That one bothered me a lot. When my boss came in, I gave him his jail, and I mentioned this, and I said, this is wrong. These women hadn't done anything. These children didn't deserve to die. Why did we do that? And he said, that's the fortunes of war. I said, but we're not at war. We're certainly not at war in that country. Why did we do that? I don't understand it. And he said, well, you're very young. When you get older, you'll understand those things. I think probably all of us became addicted to the danger, to the intrigue. It was living a fantasy. It was actually living a fantasy and being on the inside. And it was very hard to leave, even though I felt that they did wrong, and I would never, ever work for an agency like that now, because I realized that it wasn't because I was a child or I was so young. It was because it was wrong. But at the time, it was really exciting. After that, there was no other job I could have ever again in my life that would be that exciting. I knew that.
Hey, so there you have it. From the Edomite herself, okay? Exposing her own people, okay? About the wickedness that they have done, man. Okay, about the weapon the undetectable heart attack weapon that they have created, amongst others, the different poisons that they came up with, but also going up, also even talking about, a document when they went over to someone else's country and they ended up blowing up a bridge, man. Okay, so just showing you who the real threat and the terrorist to the earth is, which is Esau Edom, the so-called white man. But with that, hey, as you can see, hey, their tongue is falling upon themselves, man. You got more and more documents coming out. You got more and more Edomites coming out and exposing their people for their own wickedness. Okay, and the Lord's making their tongue fall upon themselves. All right, but with that.